Well, like always, when I make something, there's a big mess to clean up. There's stuff everywhere. I I literally robbed the battery clip out of this because I mean, whilst functionally the whole mechanism is working very well, I can't get the circuit working. So I stole my one of my last battery clips out of it. But well, first I'll show it to you. Here's the here's the pedal. I might just repaint the white on there and do the letters again. The brown ones, but I put the white on there. See, but I might do the letters over again. I want to do nice letters, but the paint has to be smooth because it was like all choppy. But basically, my volume is on this side, whereas I guess that would normally be the drive side, and volume will be over here. Which I think that's volume should go first. When you keep the drive down, you turn it up. That's your clean boost, reading from left to right, normal reading, right? It sounds great. Um, Here it is. My child. Oh, this light is making a lot of glare. How can I make it not make glare? I don't know. My child, Edward Lee. Is this backwards? It looks backwards in the camera. It does. It looks backwards. My child, Edward Lee. Glasshouse 2, and I put Lantone Clone because I don't know what they call it, and I spelled clone with a K. But you can see my nice. Oh, let me change the lighting here. You can see my nice rainbow wire in there, and the LED right there. The LED lights up in there. Actually, I can show you that. Unlike most pedals, the out is the switching on this one. Oops. Oh, I was going to say I can't even see it. That's because this light is so bright. Cool, right? Yeah, this light is causing like major reflection, eh? Hold on, maybe tip it up toward myself or something. Still reflecting. Wow. Oh, it's the light off the phone. Well, that's how shiny it is, right? So I think I will leave it on to see if it drains the battery, and I'll use my battery tester later. But I'll show you how I put the battery clip in there. I'm trying to get a close up. Maybe if I just take the camera and turn it in there, that'll probably be better. Hold on. See, but then the problem is I can't see. I can't see what I'm looking. I don't know. I can't see what I'm looking at. Yeah, it's all dark. Yeah, that's not working. I'm just. All right, hold on. I'm gonna take this off and show you how I mounted the battery. I totally robbed, my reinvented wah pedal. And yes, it is slightly reinvented. The pulley goes around the gear instead of going to the center circumference where the pinion rack and pinion teeth would go. It goes around the gear, which increases it by, whatever the depth of the teeth are. And it's got a string with a spring, that kind of thing. Waxed string with a spring wrapped around it and going from one end to the other. And the throw is much longer. So, yeah. And because it's a little bit bigger, it still gets almost what a normal wah would get, but it will get even just a little more. And then I can put adjustable bumper stops. But anyway, I stole the battery clip. So there's how it works to keep the glass from getting scratched. And when you don't want to use the battery, or when I don't want to use the battery, yeah, it's just epoxy in there. It's all mangled because I literally stole it. I had to re-straighten it with a. When you don't want to use the battery clip, you can just take it and put it around here like this. Like that, see? Looks cool. I can't see anything because that light is just reflecting. But so then when I want to put the battery in it, see if I can remember how to do it now. When I want to put the battery in it, yeah, that's it, like that. And about halfway into the battery clip, maybe set back just a little bit, maybe. Put it on. Yeah, that's about right there. And put the screws back in. I don't know if you can hear this ultrasonic frequency in here, but at one point people bragged that they were radiating me, and some of it was very harmful, and I got very sick from it. And I don't know if you caught in the last video, I lost a lot of hair on the top of my head. It's been falling out, and I know you can see in some of the videos how dry my skin is, and they're pumping all kinds of foul air into my apartment. I can't prove it, Well, and I know in other videos you see my lips split. Yeah, if you look up on YouTube frequency spectrum and listen, it's up there, like maybe 7,800 hertz, but sometimes it's a couple different frequencies, like what they call cacophony, and it's very dissonant, intentionally dissonant, and live mixed. They call it mind control. It's very foul, actually, but that's my children. So there it is. Whoops. Uh-oh. Got a fingerprint on it. Bleppo. Alright, there you go. Boom, boom, boom. Am I blocking the camera or something? Cool, right? These butterscotch brown feet on the bottom here. That rubber is so good. And I rounded these corners and everything, and I probably could take a file and do the edges a little better, but I don't want to risk scratching it on the paint. I managed to keep most of the paint. Like I said, I blemished it a little because I was rolling it around in my filings as I was filing it. I didn't put 2+2 on that one. So yeah, it looks cool. Looks totally cool. So there's your last shot of it. Wait a minute. How do I get that reflection out of there though? Just go closer. I can't go closer though. It's picking up the TV in the back and everything. It's like mirrors within mirrors. Infinity mirror. But I managed to keep how they had that nice print on there. Oh yeah, Lantone. Oh yeah. New seconds, new old stock seconds, like totally warped but totally sound good. Well, I gotta give it a good run. Make sure it doesn't, clonk out or something. Clone out on me. Oh yeah, I put the letters on there, but I could do better. I think I'll do better. Let's see, what settings would I have? I would have probably about like that. Decreased volume. Just a little drive. Maybe that's too much. Little drive, some decreased volume, tone up. That's one thing about this circuit. I might even go higher with the tone. This circuit gets beautiful brights. They're not disgusting. And I had two other ones. One, the big giant one, the blue one I still have, but the other one I traded in a trade. It was on a pedal board. Good pedal board. Yeah, it gets good brights. The brights are very good. These are supposedly germanium. I told you about my friend, what he used to say. Like, I went to his house and he drilled out the box, and then, one knob was up here and one knob was down here, and maybe the pot was a little crooked or whatever. And it's like the first thing I noticed. I'm like, wow, brother, you didn't even like make it straight, And he's like, oh, just listen to it, just listen to it, And he like yanks it out of my hand. He's like, plug it in and listen to it. So I listened to it and I strummed a couple chords, and I was like, wow, why does it sound like that? And he's like, that's germanium, brother. You dig it out of the earth with a shovel. Yeah. So that's germanium in here, supposedly. Germanium diodes, whatever. I don't know. It must come from Germany. All right, so that's it. Glasshouse 2. Machile, Edward Lee. Glasshouse 2. Lentone, Clowny. And the butterscotch rubber feet with grip. Oh, they grip so awesome. They grip so good, they knock everything over. And this is Lantone. DIY your music world together with us. Thank you for my dear friends. I like the way they wrote it. Thank you for my dear friends. It's like one of them like namaste kind of things, like from the spirit within me to the spirit within you. Thanks be to God. Let's not get in any arguments about it. I like the way they wrote that. Thank you. Thank you for my dear friends. Instead of saying thank you, dear friends, they wrote thank you for my dear friends, which is cool. I just got one of my eyes wet. It says, dear customer, many thanks for your order. Wow, they use semicolons and colons like I do. Cool. We hope that you are satisfied with our products. It's like biblical even. Old E. If any concern, please do not hesitate to contact us. The best solution will be provided. We will try to make customers satisfied. Meanwhile, if you had pleasant buying experience, your positive feedback is a recognition and a motivation to our efforts. I'll tell you about that in a second. We appreciate so much for everything you have done for us. I have, actually. I'm totally like promoting like 3 of their products, and people can hear like they totally smoke. They sound great. I don't mean they smoke. I mean the sound is like it's on fire. Sounds good. Your positive feedback is a recognition, is a motivation for our efforts. We appreciate so much for everything you have done for us. If you have any questions, please contact us. Prolandtone.com. Protate. Protatone. TAI. Protatone, Prolantone at gmail.com and prolandtone.com. Yeah, you get this on Amazon. This one came from Amazon. I like it. It's got an eternal ring of flowers there. I should find a place to like put it inside there, probably. I think I will. I'm not cutting this one. I cut the other ones to make backers for the circuit card. I'm going to save this one. I might hang this on the wall. This is beautiful. But, all right, so the feedback thing, yeah. Like, well, first of all, I want to give them a good run and burn them in and make sure they don't, clunk out. And, then the other thing is I don't even know if I can leave feedback. I got a thing from Amazon that said my account was very suspicious because it had 1,000 views, and they thought that was suspicious, and they shut me down. My reviews were very in-depth, like everything from a oil and vinegar stoppers, to pour your oil and vinegar, to, Rubbermaid containers with the vented lid tops, and like I would tell the goods and bads and of everything, yeah, they sent me an email that said we're removing all of your reviews. You can no longer, and I mean, I took like I'm doing right now, like I took hours to like tell about stuff and, share my experience, and not super, super long videos, but, definitely, demonstrating things and talking about things, in summary. and somewhat in depth too. And then they blocked me from reviewing, and they said they removed all of my reviews and I will no longer be able to review in the future. And I made a few phone calls to them about it because, I like to buy things from Amazon because I get toilet paper, like a big thing of toilet paper shipped to my house, and I need that because I'm full of it. So, yeah, this sticker comes right off the bag. Watch this. I'm not full of it. I was only kidding. I got that from somebody that I love. Look at, see? That sticker comes right off, and it's a nice sticker. So, you know what? I'll tell you what. I think it's wild that they like throw in those old rusty components. I think it's so cool. I don't want rusty. They were oxidized and definitely warped looking, but I think that's cool because like these guys are thinking about tone, more than, trying to, be able to make 10,000 of the same pedal. They're thinking more about like try to give this guy a good kit so when he builds it, he's going to be like, oh, slap. That thing sounds good. Which I did say about the delay. I was like, and I had like I don't know much about delay. Like I said in my video, like in my life, I might have had an hour and 20 minutes tops, knowing anything about delay, which now I know more, counting my repeats and stuff because I pay attention. But I had a lot of delay stuff. I had, did I have a digital delay? Yeah, a long, long time ago. And when I was a little boy, somebody lent me one, and I had a AD999, which is a very good sounding analog delay. And honestly, that circuit is like way brighter, like, and not obnoxious bright. Like at first, I was a little scared, like, oh, this is gonna be scary, analog delay, and it's very bright. And now I'm like listening to it, and it's like it's very good. It makes my Stratocaster sound better, and it honestly sounds best like on a slapback. I need to cut my hair again, which I'm going to do. It's a lot of work to cut your own hair if you've ever done it. So there you go. Look, Lantone. I don't know if you can see it. It's a nice sticker, and it comes right off the bag. They put it on all 3 bags so far. So yeah, it's a little crook, but that's not bad. Boom, 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 boom. So yeah, I couldn't leave reviews or anything. I'll probably do these letters over again. I'll probably sand this nice and smooth, paint it very smooth, and then do these letters over again. Or maybe I'll just go over it with a clear coat, make it nice and shiny. They're not that bad looking. I wanted to write out the words like volume, tone, delay, but I was like, I already know, like I'll like run off the end and be like, oh, I didn't leave enough room. So drive, not delay. So there you go. That's that. Yeah, I had to solve the solution there of how do I put the battery in without scratching the glass, And then the answer is to mount the battery clip to the bottom of this, and then it never touches the glass. See, I like my rainbow wire a lot. You can't see it much in there. Maybe you can. Maybe you can see it. There's actually green in there too, but I don't know. Maybe I should go in there with some pliers and try to get the green showing more. All right, so yeah, it's plenty strong enough for this. I mean, like this square inch, area. I mean, I could literally jump on this and it probably would not crack, which I'm not going to do. But ideally, this is prototypical. If I was going to make this to give to people for free, I would. They're not getting this one. I just made it. I want to enjoy this for at least 2 days before they kill me. I'm going to put, the rim would come up like this. The rim will come up around it, which will keep, feet from standing on it. And, the foot will never touch it, basically. And it'll be, siliconed in there nice and tight, and no dust and dirt can get in there. Yeah, I like the LED in there, but it needs to be like slightly brighter, maybe. I'd rather keep it in there than pop it through the glass. I think it's cool like that, honestly. You know, I could turn off the light and show it to you. See? It's very bright. Well, this light is like reflecting city. Oh, it's this light up here too. See, I got lights all over the place. Looks cool, right? I mean, probably could have been just a skosh closer to the glass, but you know, I don't want to make a heat mark in the glass either. So there it is. I'm leaving the battery on to see if it eats a battery. The man from MXR was very mean to me. I said, listen now. I showed him a video and everything. He says, that's normal. And then I showed him a video. Could you please look at it again? It's not normal. You know, the pedal is almost brand new. I got it from Dennis and I have the original receipt for it. And he said, well, because you got it from Dennis, it's not under warranty and it'll be $50 to fix it. And I was like, but you just admitted, like, you know, that it was manufactured wrong. You know, like, why would you charge me $50? But I guess that's how life is, right? I've done things that weren't perfect in my life, so I guess it comes around. I'm paying for my sins every day, every day. I don't know, am I paid up yet? I don't know. I think I might need to die. Maybe tomorrow, not to die. To die is not a good day to die. And plus I don't want to. So I saved these bags. See, I was using them for other stuff too, like saving whatever extra wires I have, and shrink wrap tubing, like when I cut the little pieces of tubing, and I still have some left. I save it, and I save legs. Like, I mean, I'll go through this and I'll throw out what's garbage, like all these tabs and stuff. This will all go in the recycling bin. I recycle paper and everything. But like all these legs, like I saved these legs because like that's how I mounted those pots. Like I just soldered, you know, big sloppy legs in there and then put a big shiny bead on each one. It's like, yeah, you can literally look at it on the sides and it's, I don't know if you would be able to see. Well, I want to show you the best side. Put your best side forward, right? Those are good enough. There's a big blob of a resin on there, rosin, whatever you call it, but yeah, see the leg down in there on the side? It's basically the leg, and it's just about touching the board. But I, you know, had to put a reinforcement there, and I ended up actually cutting it off very close. The last one, I think I cut it off very close, but yeah, I thought about everything. Like I made both of my ring tabs hanging down. I don't know if that's the ring tab on both of them, but I said, hey, that one's hanging down. Let me make the other one look exactly the same. You know, then how I curved my wires over, like my wires curve over this corner over here, and then my wires curve over this corner over here, which you can't see because I'm not providing the light. Yeah, now you can see them. See green, blue, green, black, and blue over here. You know, everything's harnessed in the back, and oh, I didn't show you that. I didn't show you that. Oh, slap! I gotta show you that. And then I'm gonna call it a night because I think it's still last night. Honestly, it's still yesterday. Maybe when morning comes, it'll, you know, actually be like, you know, 3 in the morning or, you know, 2 in the morning. But it'll say, you know, 7 or 8 o'clock on the clock. Well, I don't know what's going on, but I mean, I do know what's going on, but you know, it's not normal. It's been going on a long time, but it's getting faster and faster and faster. And the time is not wrong. Time is time. Time is time, right? I'm not 50 years old. Hello. Like my lips are split and my skin is dry and I'm losing my hair because they're killing me, but I'm not 50 years old. Like people that I grew up around that were slightly older than me are 31, 34, you know, I mean, seriously. But, you know, if I tell people that, they say I'm an insane person. So, yeah, here's the inside. See, it's all harnessed together and neatly and stuff, and beauteous, right? Yeah, that's just a little retainer I made there. And then I put a shrink wrap over it so that, because it was a piece of wire I used. But I was out of zip ties. Well, actually, I have black zip ties, but I didn't feel like going and finding them. And I might just put a switch in this also. Yeah, see, even that. I put the shrink wrap on it to help keep the nice twist, because those twists always come undone because it's not solid core wire, it's braided wire, so the twist actually comes undone. Yeah, I want to put a switch on it, and I don't know if it requires more circuit, but I probably don't want it to pop. I know this kind of a circuit will be like pop, but I never cared about a pop. You just turn down the volume on your guitar, or just go like this: 1, 2, 3, pop, and there goes. Oh, what was that? And go, oh, it was me. It's a new chord. It's called blah. I don't mind the pop, it's not gonna break the amp. It's not like I play on 14, If the speaker can't handle that pop, then actually I did have a speaker that couldn't handle that pop. That I put it in that Blues Junior. It was a Oaktron concentric speaker. It had a speaker in the center of it with a little steel bar. It basically was exactly the same as a Jensen Bluebell, and it was aluminum nickel cobalt, so it had that very hairy vintage sound to it. And it was very low wattage. It was 15-watt speaker, and I took the concentric, unbolted it and slid it out and it had an oil paper wax capacitor. It's like in an old box, like what would hang up in the grocery store, like clean up on aisle 5, and I cut the wax paper capacitor out of it, and I checked the ohms, and it came in at about 7 something, which was, that's an 8 ohm speaker. They call that nominal rating. So I was like, oh, slap, but I think that's actually 4 ohm in that Blues Junior. But I read the thing, and it said, they can withstand a 100% tolerance mismatch. And I was like, oh, I'm only going to play it at lower volumes anyway, So I put that in there. I think that was 8 ohm though in there. But I put that speaker in there, and at low volumes, like the bass sound, because that was a high fidelity speaker. It was not made to punch bass or be like pop, 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 strong mid-range guitar sound. It was a high fidelity speaker, clean up on aisle 5, and I took the tweeter out of it, is what I took the concentric tweeter out of it. It slid the bar back and forth, and it was also painted with that Jensen blue, that metallic-y blue color, and I took the bell off the back, the bell housing, because it wouldn't fit in there with that bell housing on there, and I put the screw and I saved it somewhere, and I don't know what happened to it, but I mean, I do. Michael Perry got all my stuff, but yeah, and then at low volumes, that thing sounded like Stevie Ray, at very low volumes, sounded like the real Stevie Ray Vaughan, like the good Stevie Ray Vaughan, not that, tube screamer mid hump, wah, 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 but like that chank, 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 that cleanish sound, and yeah, almost very clean and very low output actually. And the sound, it sounded like, if you had like a super reverb or a twin reverb, on 7 or 10, in a big room. It's had that great clarity to it, but then as soon as you turned it up like past 2 or something, it was like, ah, like, don't break me. I guess that's what I was thinking about it. Yeah, but the thing sounded good. Oaktron. I've seen them on eBay. I seen one on eBay actually. It's just like a Jensen Bluebell, and it is aluminum nickel cobalt, but a lot to do with it. It's the paper too. I found this one speaker that had sat in a garage for years, and it said the voice of the golden throat, and it had the picture of the silhouette of the woman singing, with the hair, and it said RCA, the voice of the golden throat, and that little radio, and it was little teeny tubes in it, and I plugged that thing in outside, sitting on my ladder outside the house, plugged it in the wall, and I'm like, I am so putting a jack in this, and like play guitar along with the radio maybe or something. Try to find a vintage radio station with plays, non-satanic, non-conceited stuff, if there is still such a thing. I don't think there is anymore, but and then I went to touch the speaker. I was like, wow, this speaker is part of why it sounds so good. And I just went like this on the speaker, and my finger went right through it, and the speaker just went and I was like, that's why it sounded so good. Oh no, that thing was so dry. It was just held together by pulp, paper, wood pulp, black gray paper wood pulp was just, was held together by molecules, and it sounded so good. I had it sitting on the ladder there, plugged into the outside outlet on my porch, and yeah, just like, oh, wow, that speaker sounds so good. And I went to touch it whilst it was playing. I wanted to feel the vibrations because, get to know the speaker. I was like, oh, it sounds good. And my finger just went, like with no effort, went right through it, because it sat in, maybe it sat in an attic, or up in the, shelf in a garage for many, many, many years in extreme heat, But, oh, that sounded so good until I touched it. And then it just went, like, some archaeological find or something. Yeah. So anyway, that's it. Fun stories, right? All right, I'm done. Put a cork in me, put a fork in me, flip me over. I'm done. Turn me off. Pull the plug. I don't know what to do with this. I'm going to put it in the recycling bin. It's like I'm sitting here picking at them. Like, what do I do with that? It's like I do not like to waste things, but I don't know what to do with it. So there you go. Michael. That's my name. Michael Edward Lee. Michael Edward Lee. Glasshouse 2. Lantone Clooney. Clownfish. Wild, man. Yeah, I'd like to leave them reviews, but that's what happened. But I'll try again. I probably can. Maybe it's fixed by now, but it was just so discouraging because, like, they supposedly took down, like, they shut down my profile and took down, like, 1,000 views of people appreciating me reviewing everything from an oil pourer stopper, for your oil thing, to put olive oil on your bread, so you could drizzle like this on the plate and make it look good, caramel, whatever, olive oil and balsamic. And, everything from that to, like, the Rubbermaid container with the vented lid, that they're very good. They can withstand many microwavings, and like any other container, they'll eventually get a little warped in the bottom, but like they can, they're awesome, and the plastic doesn't leach and it washes easily, and, so they're very good. They're very expensive, and I would write that. Like I would write, they're very expensive, but they're very good, That's about it. So yeah, they took all my stuff down. They said my account was very suspicious. They wouldn't give me a reason. They just closed all my stuff. I think they thought those 1,000 views were fake, but they were not fake, probably. It's like my so-called, I was going to say Craigslist, eBay. I couldn't think of what it's called. This YouTube, it's like says, like 5 views, 7 views, 2 views. And yet when I go into my profile, it's like 10,000 views. I'm like, how does that add up? Where are these hidden views, right? Because they're there, but, like people got snipe program or something, and you can't see that they were looking at your page. I don't know. I don't care what I'm saying. Something's not right there. Yeah, so I changed that battery snap. This is the battery snap, sonic welded or heat welded, whatever they call that. you know, and this is not one of the soft ones that will, you know, rip in half. It has a hard piece of plastic or cardboard in there. Probably like a thin piece of plastic or something. I can't find them. I can't find this. There it is. There it is right there. That's the camera. Has a hard piece of plastic in there, but it's not hard. That snap I put on there is very hard. And in those small boxes, you can't replace that with a better battery clip because it just will not fit. But yeah, I don't know. You can see that battery clip. I showed it to you in the other video, but there it is. Yeah, see? That's one of them heavy duty ones. Will withstand 1.7 trillion snappings before needs greasing. All right, later. I guess that's it. I always think of something I want to say after I hang up. But, oh, yeah, like I don't know about science. I have this LED lamp here. It's a bright one, bright white. Probably would illuminate the whole inside of this, but probably will also like eat the battery in like 2 seconds. Yeah, because it's something to do with voltage also. You know, like even like multicolored LEDs that will change color. It's based on voltage. It's a diode. It's a light emitting diode. And the voltage, like if it's 3 volts, it'll be one color. If it's 6 volts, it'll be another color. If it eats your entire battery, it'll light up this box. So, oh yeah, this sounds very different plugged in. I forgot about that. This sounds very different plugged in. Sounds very different plugged in. Sounds very different plugged in. Plugged in, it's like super clean headroom, hardly any noise floor. You know, but with the battery, it's like, come in, breaker 1-9. Yeah, I wonder if he can hear me in his amplifier right now. You know, but when you put the power in it, it's like, whoo, you know, supercharged. Yeah, so it does make a difference. So, all right, later. Bye.